So, why would you want to study chemistry? Let me try and give you an answer for me. I'm fascinated by the world in which we live. It's a material world. It's made of stuff. And from a chemistry point of view, we would understand that everything, so the chair I'm sitting on, the carpet, the air that we breathe, my body, the clothes I'm wearing, everything is made up of these basic building blocks, which we call elements. And there are only about 100, but you can make millions of different substances just from these 100 building blocks. And chemistry essentially is trying to understand how is it that all of this stuff works together. How is it that these elements, these building blocks, come together to make such a wide variety of things? And not only if we understand how, then we can start to manipulate it. We can start to make new substances. So, for example, chemistry can help us to understand simple things like, why is it that sugar dissolves in a cup of tea? Why is it that mercury is liquid at room temperature? How can we make plastics? Maybe part of what we should be thinking about now is how do we make fewer plastics? How can we find alternatives? Plastics have been incredibly useful, but actually they cause a problem now. So chemists need to be thinking about alternatives. Can we make things that are biodegradable, that are better for the environment? But that understanding of how the atoms and how the elements come together is a fundamental part of chemistry. So whether you're baking a cake, whether you're recharging a mobile phone, chemistry plays into every aspect of our material life. If you're interested in studying chemistry at A level, then we'll touch on a number of topics, including the structure of the atom. So all these elements essentially are made of what we call atoms. We'll look at how we can control reactions, how we can speed them up, how we can slow them down. We'll look at patterns in the periodic table, all the different elements. As we go across the periodic table, as we go down, there are patterns and trends, and we can start to predict how different elements will react. There's a whole branch of chemistry called organic chemistry dedicated to the chemistry of carbon. So our body systems, biological systems, essentially are carbon-based life forms. And we can understand a lot about how carbon interacts with other elements to make all sorts of complicated biological molecules. And we will study organic chemistry as part of the A-level chemistry course. So those are some of the things that we will study. What about the benefits? What are the advantages of studying chemistry? What do you get out at the end? Well, I would suggest there are lots of what you might call transferable skills. In order to be a good chemist, you need to be analytical. You need to be able to look at a problem. You need to be able to solve problems. There's a little bit of mathematical content. I'm not going to gloss over that. It's there, but it's really important that we can look at a chemical system, a chemical reaction, and we can analyse how much of a product that we're going to make. If we start with 20 grams of this, how much can we make from a particular chemical reaction? And you'll need to be able to understand and analyse and have that ability to look at chemical reactions and calculate yields, calculate things like rates of reaction, how quickly, what things affect how quickly reactions take place. Can we change how quickly reactions take place? Yes, we can, and we'll understand more about that. So very much analytical, mathematical skills, problem-solving skills. Where does chemistry A-level lead to? So for those, particularly if you're interested in things like medicine or becoming a vet or a dentist, you will need to study chemistry. It will be a requirement for your ongoing studies. But also other courses like pharmacology, pharmacy, they will obviously want a chemical input as well. Beyond that, I would suggest that if you're going to do a subject at university that requires analytical thought processes, then chemistry will actually rate very highly for universities who are looking for students for those sort of courses. So I personally think chemistry obviously is a really important and fascinating subject, and would highly recommend that you come and do it here. Thank you.